Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot. It's your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I am truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for anybody new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It has everything you need in order to do so, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member. Also, if you are new here, we do things a little bit differently here, so just a heads up, strap in, hang on, and we're going to find this out together. So today we are doing what is the future of this connection. This can be with an ex, a crush, or a current partner. I'm going to be using the Soul Journeys Lesson cards today by James Van Praagh. And this is a new deck that I've got, so I thought it was fitting to use it on this reading today. Let us go ahead and hop to our prayer, and we will get this underway. Okay, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for the entire time or for just a moment's time. Today we're asking for clarity on the relationships in our lives. What do they mean? Where are they going? And sometimes we get so caught up in the idea of what we think that they should be that we're closing ourselves off to the guidance that you're giving us. And today I ask that you help us open our hearts so that we can hear with love the messages that you're bringing through that are meant for us. That you are always reminding us, while things might not be going exactly how we want them to, or even when they are going exactly how we want them to, that we should still remain unattached to outcomes, because it's when we stay attached to these outcomes, we always end up disappointing ourselves because we're holding on so tightly to something and not giving it room to become whatever it's meant to become. So today I ask that you help us loosen our grips, help us to free our minds, and to help us come into direct contact with our intuition and with you guiding the way for us. As these words are spoken onto this reading and upon this tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. All right. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Are you going to stay in there? Okay. Perfect. So let's get this underway. So source, what is the future of this connection for my fellow humans today? What would you like to share with us? What is the future of this connection? What oracle cards will help us better understand that? What is the future of this connection for my fellow humans today? Okay, thank you. What is the future of this connection for my fellow humans? All right, source. For pile number 1, what soul journey oracle card will help us better understand what the future of this connection for pile number 1 is? Okay, thank you. And for pile number 2, source, what soul journey oracle card will help us better understand what is the future of this connection for pile number 2, source? Okay, thank you. And for pile number 3, source, what soul's journey oracle card will help us better understand the future of this connection for pile number 3? Okay, thank you. All right, collective energy on the bottom. Love. Oh, I love that. That is such a beautiful card to come out on this reading. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And I love that this came out, because in the prayer, this goes hand in hand with what energy came through with the prayer, you know, having us open our hearts and open our ears to hearing the messages that are meant for us. And sometimes it's really scary. Like sometimes we might hear something that we're resistant to, and automatically we are like, nope, that's not for me. That's just not going to resonate. And we're only looking to find individuals, readers, or people who tell us exactly what we want to hear rather than what we might need to hear. And especially in the realm of love, it is so difficult to stay unbiased while receiving advice, whether that's from source, from your guides, from your angels, from your ancestors, whomever it's from. Sometimes it's hard to stay in this unbiased state of actually receiving the wisdom and then making a choice, especially if that wisdom is showing us something that doesn't go along with our idea of what things should be or how things should be. And this really feels like why this came out, right? I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. It's opening up to this deeper truth that sometimes we're going to hear things that we don't want to hear, but it doesn't mean that they're bad for us. We have to use our discernment outside of being emotionally attached to translate that for our journey. So let's see what this card says in the book. And look, underneath that we have grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. This is very telling for that to come underneath this, right? Because grief and love is probably one of the harder griefs to deal with. Even though grief of loss of someone is absolutely wrecking to us, but also grief of love has been something that can really leave us completely battered. Well, let's see what this card says. It says, you are love. It is your inherent vibration. The obstacles and challenges of the physical dimension attempt to trick you into thinking that there are other ways to view life. But there is only one way that is natural to your being. Love. This card simply reminds you that your soul is made of Source's pure divine vibrational force of love, and that you need to bring this awareness to bear on every aspect of your life and being. Love is a healing energy. All anxiety and drama cannot exist in the aura of love. Most souls have come back upon this earth to learn, accept, and utilize this harmonic force to see its effect upon their lives. It is time to remind others of the strength of their own power of Source and assist them in knowing fully that love is the most powerful element in the universe. It builds, fortifies, and strengthens even the most lost person. When we live in the power of love, then and only then will we know truth. True love is a spiritual link between us and Source. It will guide our footsteps through the conflicts of the material world and will cleanse our hearts of unwanted facets of human personality. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's like sometimes we're very resistant because it's not what we want to hear. But love will always guide us to what's right for us. And sometimes we have to let go of our identity in order to open up to what love is bringing in for us. Okay? So that is a beautiful collective energy to start with. All right. So we've got a couple of different things to choose from today. I haven't flipped these over just yet. This one flipped over when I was shuffling for these. All right. So I'm just going to flip these over. Interesting, we got two foxes today. All right. Make sure that we're in frame. Okay, good. So for pile number 1, we have this beautiful seashell. for you to choose from. Okay. We have this dice with the second house on it. Okay. And then we have this sticker that says, every time your mind told you that you wouldn't make it through, it was always wrong. It's going to be okay. Okay. And then for pile 2, we have this beautiful seashell for you to choose from. Okay. We have this dice with house 8. And then we have this fox sticker with, hey, you'll get through this, okay? Then for pile number 3, we have this beautiful seashell for you to choose from. We have this dice with house 9. And we have this sticker with the armadillo on it that says, I don't really know how to fix anything, but I can take small steps forward until I am in a better place. Okay, so we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever pile you feel drawn to, that should be the one for you. And with that, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful seashell, or if you were drawn to this dice with the second house on it, or if you were drawn to this sticker that says, every time your mind told you that it wouldn't make it through, it was always wrong, it's going to be okay. Or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on the future of this connection. This can have to do with your ex, your current crush, a current partner. This can have to do with anybody, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be love, but the intention today is to go in it with love. Okay, so first I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for anyone new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And also, if you're new, we do things a little bit different around here. So I suggest you strap in, hang on, and we're going to find out together. With that, let's hop to it and find out. Source, what is the future of this connection for pile number 1? What would you like to share with us today? What is the future of this connection for pile number 1, Source? What would you like to share with us today? What is the future of this connection for pile number 1, Source? Things are a little foggy outside. Interesting. The window just kind of like fogged up all randomly, and it doesn't usually do that. And so with that, it's just, there's like a lot of uncertainty with this relationship. There's a lot of not knowing what's coming or what's next. And I feel like you've been sitting in this place of being really confused for a long time, and you're ready to be out of that place. Like, I do feel this place of surrender where it's whatever comes, while you want it to be the best, you're just ready to have some clarity with this connection, is what it feels like. You're tired of having a broken heart. Okay, we've got the 6th house, we've got Pisces energy, and we've got Venus. Okay. Yeah, this is an interesting energy. So this could be someone that you work with, or that you have worked with in the past. Doesn't have to be. This could be someone who also has a lot of small animals. Like, really specific here. There's a lot of miscommunication here. And I know we don't have Gemini out, but it's just with this Piscean seeing like uncertainty and that feeling I was getting earlier where it's like not really knowing what's next. There's a lack of communication. There's a lack of things that need to be discussed that are getting tabled for another time or swept under the rug. And with Venus here, it feels like you're attracting this over and over again, right? And Venus being the planet of love, like, why can't it just be this loving, magnetic, fun, joyful, happy, balanced connection? And where I feel like there's a lot of times when it is that, right? And we're going to dig more in with the tarot, but we need to get the energy of this reading first. And this really feels like this is saying that it's more important for you to live in the present moment, because it's in the present moment where you're going to gain clarity. And you're going to see, is this healthy for me? Is this not healthy for me? Is this something that is stable? It's the day-to-day connections that you have with this person that add up over a long period of time. Because the ones that set you off into a state of confusion, or the moments that set you off into a place of feeling really super disconnected, or like things aren't going to work out, those moments aren't necessarily the moments that are going to show you everything that you want to know, right? Because this person's allowed to be human. They're allowed to have off days. Now, obviously, if there are massive red flags, you definitely want to take that into account. But there's just a very confusing energy here. It's like this person doesn't even know what they want, let alone what they want with you. And so that is something that continues to come up and be present here. And isn't it interesting, we got Pisces energy, and Pisces connected to Neptune is that illusion. So there's a lot of illusions at play here. And I feel like the energy that you both show up in is product of whatever illusions are going on for the day. And it could be as simple as somebody convincing either one of you of a certain state of this connection. And it could be as complex or as multifaceted as all of the thoughts running around in our heads. And then that creates dissonance between you and them. So it does feel like there's a need to sit down, because I do feel like you really want things to work out, but it's just exhausting and overwhelming. And there's a feeling of guilt here, or even a feeling of blame, either shouldering the blame or blaming or resentment towards this person for maybe not showing up the way that they used to, or giving you mixed signals. Yeah, let's get some more on it. So, Source, what is the future of this relationship? Let's get really into it. Yeah, look, I split the deck. We have the 6 of Cups here. This is definitely a loving relationship. Like, there's a lot of emotions here. right? And this is the soulmate card. The Six of Cups in the Tarot Marseille is the soulmate card. It's a deeper love than the Two of Cups. It's a deeper love than the Ace of Cups. But we also have the Knight of Swords in the reverse, which is talking about someone who's very misguided. It can talk about conceit too, like being conceited, feeling like, oh, I have a right to this love. I have to have this person in my life. So it could be talking about that as well, but I really feel like this is a misconception more than anything else. And, you know, own where you're at. That's all I can really say. Is I know sometimes it's hard to own our own actions, but that's where the most value comes from on our journey. So, Source, what is the future of this connection? Okay. What is the future of this connection? Source, what would you like to share with us? What is the future of this connection? Thank you. Let's talk about what's on the bottom of the deck. The Queen of Swords. Someone's being very distant here. You know, there's this feeling it's just not really balanced right now. And when something is unbalanced, it can't stay that way for very long before it either topples off or someone makes a change. And I don't feel like someone's ready and willing to change here. And that could be both parties. It could be you. It could be this person. You know, take it as it resonates. But the thing is here that it feels like both of you are trying to protect something. And what I'm feeling is that it's both of you are trying to protect your hearts from getting hurt again or from getting bowled over. But you do care about each other with the Six of Wands here. You both really care about each other and you have a good connection. There's a good basis there, but there's also something that's lacking. It's like, well, it seems like a conundrum. How can you have a good connection but no one's talking? It's like, I feel like there's something that stopped you both from talking. So maybe there was a miscommunication. It could be because of Mercury retrograde right now too, which is like some kind of miscommunication. Everybody's taking it personal. Everybody's shouldering that and not seeing things clearly. And it's like, I just want someone to take accountability. The other party's like, I just want someone to take accountability, but both parties aren't. That's what this feels like. And it just feels like there's one little piece that's missing here. Yeah, okay, so we've got the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Wow, you've got all mystery cards in the reverse. Yeah, this is like bullheadedness at its finest, is what this feels like. You know, and pile one, you could very well be trying your best to make valid communication here, like opening up and really getting together, but this is not something that's ready to manifest right now as a solid connection, okay? There's a lot of spiritual discord here. There's a lot of someone not wanting to face the consequences here, not wanting to face reality, and I feel like that comes from that spiritual discord, okay? And this is something that it's easier for them to focus on money or maybe even sexual encounters than it is to focus on going deeper. So I was saying the Six of Cups coming out is showing that there's a lot of love here. Okay, there is a lot of love, and that could be you loving this person so deeply. I do feel like this person does care about you deeply. And isn't it funny? We got the Six of Cups and the Six of Wands here. And this is showing like the balance is the action of the physical connection is in balance. And then we're needing to find balance with communication, the ability to communicate with one another. So the emotions are there, the passion's there, but if we don't have communication, passion and emotions are never going to be enough, because then there's disrespect, there's dishonesty, there's keeping secrets, you know, there's all these things that come into play without a lack of communication. And I actually feel like this person has tabled their emotions right now because they can't tap into how they feel about you. It is too overwhelming. It is too big. It is too much for them to tap into right now. And so I feel like they have tabled their emotions because it's easier than to face that. And it could have just been, also the other thing is, for some of you, this could have just been a physical connection and that was it. Yeah, there's some sort of arrogance that's at play here. Emotional closure. And a lot of confusion about one's goals. Losing this touch with reality and with people even. So right now, the cards are saying no. Like, the future of this connection is a no. It's not a yes or no question, I know, but it's just, there's not enough of a solid foundation to build something that's gonna be worthwhile. And I know that that's hard to hear, but at the same time, excuse me, you have to listen to your intuition. You have to use your discernment in all situations in your life. But the future of this connection is just, it's not good. And I feel like the other thing is, pile one, is that you feel hopeless. Yeah, that's what it is. You feel hopeless to change your situation. So maybe this is someone that you live with. Maybe this is, again, someone that you could work with. This could be someone that you are married to, and it's like, I just wish that things could go back to how they once were. It could be a crush. It could be an ex. You know, again, whatever it is that your situation is, I do feel like you're feeling hopeless right now because of this situation. Like, there's a lot of dissonance here. And just bringing it back to the glory days is what I keep hearing. And right now, this is where the cycle is. Right? This is where the cycle is. And it's something that's closing out, and there's no changing that. But this person's also in a state of arrogance. And because of that, it's not moving forward. You know, anytime we hold on to our arrogance, and if you didn't catch the collective energy, there's definitely a timestamp down below. You can check that out if you feel called to, because it did talk a little bit about this in the collective energy. But sometimes our arrogance is something we don't want to face either, because we're holding on to something, it has to be a certain way. Well, we're not the only ones that do that, right? Like, everybody does that. That's very human of us to do that, is to hold on to things because we have imagined out this great scenario in our head, and we're like, oh, it has to be this way, it has to be that way. And then when things don't go that way, we're hurt because it fell short of our expectations. But that doesn't mean it's wrong, because it actually played out exactly how it was going to, regardless if we fantasized about it or not. And so that's what this feels like, is like there's a helplessness here, because it's like it was supposed to be insert your story, but it never became that. And that's because there's someone here who's not ready to move on. And also with the Magician, it can point out at someone who is just in it for the physical thing, like the satisfaction of, I should say, the pleasure, and then lacking total emotional awareness, and also lacking total, like having being unaware of people and how they're feeling or thinking when someone puts their foot in the situation like that. That's really what this feels like here. Let's see. Source, what is the future of this connection? Thank you. On the bottom, Pisces energy, intimacy, intuition, and compassion. Again, playing at it is so vital for you to listen to your intuition when it comes to this connection, because there's a lot that's going on behind closed doors. And if you're not careful, you could miss out on some vital signs just for the want of this person in your life. And it's okay, pile one. It is okay to want somebody. It is okay to want something so bad you can taste it. But just because you want somebody, don't overlook or undermine the red flags of that person either. You don't deserve that. right? You deserve someone who's present with you. You deserve someone who's going to be in your corner. You deserve to have somebody who's standing up for you in all aspects, not somebody who's using and abusing you, or using you and shoving you aside, or just using you for their own gratification. So we have EFT tapping, number 39. Psych yourself up with emotional freedom technique. So you could benefit by grounding yourself through EFT tapping. Isn't this interesting, though, before we check out the bottom of the deck? Look at this character right here. Like, there's all kinds of energy here. This could be a Scorpio that we're dealing with, a Cancer. You could be a Scorpio or Cancer, have that highly aspect in your chart. But it's like freeing yourself from something that is kind of monstrous, right? And not getting caught up in, look at the green behind this character here. Not getting caught up in the emotional connection, but seeing the truth of what's standing in front of you. And I feel like EFT tapping coming out, there's definitely a lot of symbology coming here with this card. But also, it's just reminding you, you can definitely ground yourself through EFT. And that will help you reconnect to your intuition. All right, so on the bottom, we've got feeling trapped. There's always a way out of your difficulties. That's the thing. Like, I feel like there's this helplessness that's coming through from you, pile one, where I don't feel like I can move on. I don't feel like I can let go. I don't feel like I have a way out. And with this coming through, it's saying there are always ways out. Like, you're not stuck. Sometimes we have to get super creative with the ways that we approach things. And that's what this feels like. And you might be there for a little while, but eventually you're going to find your way. Okay? Asking your guides for help, asking source for help, and knowing that it might take a little while, but if you keep being there, present and persistent at it, things are going to work out for you. So we have number 59. Look, you got 39, you got 59. So a lot of nines coming through here. Everything made of water is affected by thoughts directed at it. And we're made up of, what is it, like 70%, 75% water or something like that. We also are affected by the thoughts directed at it. Whether that's from ourselves or from the energy that someone is forcing onto us or pushing onto us. Like, we're affected by that. And so there's this energy where it's like it's okay to step back for a little while and reconnect with yourself and purify yourself from this. We've got, who is your go-to person? We all need someone who we can vent to when we've had a meltdown. Number 9. I didn't even know this was on the bottom. So 9 is a number here that's coming through it keeps repeating. And 9 is about bringing something to a close, to an end. It's not yet ending, but it's coming to an end, okay? And this is also that energy of finding someone that you can go to right now, someone who can give you good advice, someone who can be in your corner, because you really need that right now, okay? All right, let's get some of these out. What else, source, would you like to tell pile number 1? Yep. Okay, I'm going to get one more of these. Okay, thank you. So we have Ceres. Reconnect with yourself. Look, what was I saying earlier? It's okay to get away and purify your energy. So with Ceres here, there's a lot of confusion in this. And it's so vital that you reconnect with yourself, because that's where you're going to find the answers. Okay? Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. We have Sextile. Keep it easy breezy. Yeah, it's better for you to come into this place of being really unattached and letting things flow. When you step aside and you stop trying to control the way that a connection is going to go, you give it space to become whatever it's meant to become, which is scary because there's no guarantee. Right? Yeah, that's really scary. But that also saves you time, energy, and effort, because you're not over here trying to direct it the way that you feel like it has to go. Rather, you're saying, okay, my worth is that I know I'm valuable. And I know that I deserve people who love me for me. I don't have to control people to love me. And I don't have to force people to love me either. Is this like... Okay. We'll go with that. So we had abundance that flipped out here. And I feel like, again, we're trying to bring you back to your heart chakra. This is connected with the heart chakra here. And we're trying to bring you back into that place of seeing that you're worthy of love, seeing that you deserve to love yourself, to give to yourself, to free yourself from things that are keeping you in a state of lack or poverty. Look at that sadness on the bottom. Yeah, this is a really difficult situation. There's been a lot that's happened here, and I can understand, like, wanting things to work out. There's, you know, like, wanting things to go good, because then it would make things a lot easier. But sometimes the right thing and the hard thing are the same thing. And reminding ourselves of that, it's a reminder that sometimes we're going to have to face our own internal fears when it comes to a connection. So right now, the future, this connection, it's not looking super bright, but I also feel like you've known this for a while. And there's a lot of energy that's just being reflected back. There's a lot of in and outs here, and I feel like there's a lot of cyclical patterns that continue to come into play. So we've got mirror here, mirroring each other, like self-reflection, introspection, and inner wounds. So you're both mirroring each other. And there's a lot of hurt and pain that's coming up right now, whether you're both triggering each other. I don't feel like any of this is vicious or malicious or anything, but I do feel like there is manipulation in the way of being unhealed here that's at play. But like, everybody's manipulative at one point in time. Empaths are manipulative because we want validation. Narcissists are manipulative because they want to be seen as grand, amazing, and like they can't do any wrong, right? And so we all have our way of coping with things and manipulating people to do those things for us, and we have to honor that about ourselves. It's not that we're a terrible person at all. That's not what this is. It's just reminding us that we all have played a role in an unhealed version of ourselves. And I feel like that's what's at play here, is that the unhealed version of you and this person have been at the helm for a long time. Sword and Rose, like clarity and truth, revelations, honor and protection, and determination. I feel like the one that's standing out the most here is clarity and truth. This is something you've been seeking for a time. Okay, let's see. Yeah, they want me to use one of these. Okay, that's the one. This one too. On the bottom, engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Before you're like, what the heck? This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. What this feels like to me is that when you let go, you're going to ascend to a deeper connection with Source. And that is absolutely a higher level of commitment in our love life, because Source is our love life. Okay? Opposition, imbalance, a point of tension, a power struggle. We've been talking about this the whole time. There's a lot of imbalance here. There's a lot of going back and forth. It's just a lot of heavy energy that I feel like you're dealing with. And Source is reminding you to come back home. We have Aquarius, fly your freak flag. Don't be afraid to do things that are creative and unusual and different from what you normally would do. Okay. So this dynamic here, I was afraid this was going to come up. I'm not even going to lie. I was really getting this. I feel like you feel like you're twin flames, and that's not for me to say yes or no to. Okay, that is not for me to be like, yes, this is your person. No, this isn't your person. It's just right now there's a huge imbalance between you and this person. And energy is fluid, so it doesn't mean that it won't be different tomorrow. It doesn't mean it won't be different in a year from now. But what I feel like Source is reminding you is that right now the most important thing is for you to focus on your healing, to focus on you being good with yourself and you being in touch with the divine. Clock. Needing time. Cycles take time. Time to heal. Progressing. Right? This is something that needs time to unfold. Okay? There is no magic thing that's going to happen. You're not going to reach some magical healing point and suddenly this is going to tip the scale here. You have to go through the process, and the process is whatever source has made it. I can't say that tomorrow you're going to figure it out and everything is going to change, but I can't also say that in 6 years from now you won't have already figured it out and things have tipped, right? Because each individual person's journey is personal and it's yours, but if you're only focusing on this person, you're taking away precious energy from yourself. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't feel like anybody's malicious here. Like, I don't feel like this person is trying to hurt you or be malicious towards you. I really feel like this is people coming from an unhealed state, trying to make things work, but still needing to do some deep reflection, right? And introspection. You deserve love. You are lovable. Just because they're not giving you the love doesn't mean that you're not lovable. And if you're seeing it that way, then that is number one, a priority start focus on facing, because seeing yourself as lovable, seeing yourself as a sexy beast, seeing yourself as incredible and amazing and valuable and worthwhile, those are all valuable things that you can start working on right now. If your value and worth is dependent on this connection, that's a huge red flag, because you are so much more than this connection, okay? And it doesn't matter the label that comes out here, okay? Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Source. Oh my gosh. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It says, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Oh my gosh, that seriously just happened right there on this reading. And now I understand why this sticker came out for you. Every time your mind told you that you wouldn't make it through, it was always wrong. It's going to be okay. You're going to make it through this. I know it's difficult. Let's take a look at your soul's journey card. Self-esteem. Wow. Thank you, Source, so much. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Let's read this from the book. Your self-esteem is at play here, okay? And this is low self-esteem. That's exactly what this feels like. And it's like, well, if only they came out and they loved me and they showed me that I was lovable. Well, why are we sitting around waiting for someone to show us that we're lovable instead of working on seeing our own value through our own eyes? Okay, there's a lot of love here between you and them. There's a lot of passion, but your self-esteem comes first. It's easy to perceive others as being better than you. This is a trap of the ego. There is no one greater or lesser than you. There are only those who have learned to reveal their gifts to a greater or lesser degree. Everyone is born with unique abilities of the soul, and just like snowflakes, there are no two ever alike. You have a unique perspective to share with the world and have come back to this to put your stamp on it. Perhaps you may not be aware or even in tune with your incredible and gifted self. Why not try to make a list of 10 aspects of yourself or abilities you possess that you love and hold in high regard? It is not always easy to write about yourself, but sometimes you need to be reminded just how special you are. Remember that you did not come down to this schoolroom by accident. You have meaning and a reason for being. You are a treasure chest of incredible gifts and insights. Now is the time to celebrate you. So really what this is saying for you, Pile 1, is that the connection in the 3D is not what matters. And I know that's what we all want to know. What about the connection in the 3D? And if you followed me for any amount of time, you know the channelings that I have received for twin flames. And, you know, the thing is that I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to channel source. And the message is clear. The confirmations are very clear in your reading. And what source is saying is that the only thing that matters right now is how you, pile one, feel about yourself. And simply because your twin flame, or the person that you feel is your twin flame, whatever label you've given them, is not coming in and showing you love, that does not mean that you're not lovable. That does not mean that you're not amazing. That does not mean anything. And that's a reflection of where they're at on their journey right now. And we're having a hard time differentiating that just because we're twin flames, we're saying, well, we're the same soul, we're the same soul, we're the same soul. We may be the same soul, but we are two different people who are having two very different experiences, and we both have free will to make a choice. Regardless of everyone saying like, no, you don't have free will as a twin. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That is the one thing that Source has always promised us. I will never take away your free will. Your free will to choose a life that you wish to choose. So we have to let that be as it is, but we cannot place our worth and our value on our twin flame, because that diminishes ourselves. And our twin would never, ever, ever want us to do that, especially in the 5D, because our twin is us. And if you love your twin so much, how can you give that love back to yourself? Because you love yourself. It's being mirrored to you from them. So how can you give that love that you have for them to yourself? And see yourself the same way you see them, because they are you. All right? So this is what I have for you, pile number one. I know this was a difficult reading. I know. And for those of you that made it, here's a big, big, big energetic hug. I love you. You're incredible. You're amazing. Okay? If this is your reading, leave the little clock emoji down below, and I'll let you pick which one. Or just say, time is in divine, not in mine. And I choose to relinquish control while coming back to a deep, unfaltering self-love. Okay? And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angels, Source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this difficult but deeply amazing reading. And until next time, pile number one, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful seashell right here, or if you were drawn to this dice with the 8th house on it, if you were drawn to this sticker that says, hey, you'll get through this okay. I can get that to... Or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what is the future of this connection. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of my journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time. Wow. I'm going to try this again. I don't want to restart because we're already into it. So there's a lot of weird energy right now already up front. Let me just get that out. Because it's like I can't talk. I was fine before I got onto your reading. And then I get onto your reading and I'm starting to trip over what it is that I'm saying. So I feel like there's someone here who can't express how they feel to you, or maybe you can't express how you feel to someone just yet, or you want to, but you don't know how to say it, or they want to, but they don't know how to say it. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. But if you're here supporting this journey, thank you so very much. I truly am honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And anybody new here, welcome. This is that reminder we're all here sharing this human experience together. And this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're new, we do things a little differently around here. So I suggest you strap in, hang on, and we will find out together. All right, so let's hop to it and find out. Source, what is the future of this connection? What would you like pile number 2 to know today? What is the future of this connection? What messages do you have for pile number 2 today, Source? Yeah, okay, I'm getting this like really, it's not even confused. It's like I know what I want to say. I don't know how to say it where it will be accepted. Stuttering, stumbling, like my hands are getting clammy, like I feel like I should cover my face, like my glasses falling off my face. It's interesting. There's just a really interesting energy here. It's like when they come up, or when maybe you go up to them to say how you feel or how they feel, everything else becomes so apparent and it's taking all the energy. So we got the 12th house, Cancer, and Mars energy here. This is going to tap into the energy of the connection right now, okay? Yeah, so a lot of uncertainty and wanting to nurture this relationship and take action, but there's just a lot of uncertainty that's leading that. Let me put this here. Okay. I get this feeling like someone wants to step up. Someone really wants to step up here, but are struggling to step up. Yeah, interesting. I put my bracelets on my other hand so I could do something really quick, and I forgot to switch them over. So it's weird. Like, I feel so discombobulated for your reading, and I was fine up to here. And now I'm feeling like all over the place. I'm aware, but I'm not aware. And it's like the things that I should be aware of, I'm not aware of, but the things that really don't matter that much is what I'm aware of. That's what this feels like here. And there's a want to express love here. There's a want to express anything, really. It feels like someone wants to express anything, but there's something that is keeping them from doing that. And it could feel, maybe they feel like they're in competition with other people, or maybe they feel like there's no coming back from what had happened. Maybe they feel like there's just too much past here as well. And it just feels very like, what am I going to say so that they can even answer me? That's what it feels like here. Wow, this is like just an energy. And it's weird because it feels very, like they want to say so much, but there's not, the energy is all over the place. It's like bonkers. Holy Toledo. Let me take a drink of water and see if I can ground myself a little. Which is so funny because I always drink water before I start the reading. I do a little meditation and I drink water. So I was grounded coming into this, but yeah, maybe someone had a broken heart here. This could be someone from the past coming through. And now there's like boundaries put in place and they don't know how to get beyond the boundaries. Alright, Source. Whoa, yeah, tell us. Okay, so this was weird. Did you see how it like flew in and then it tipped over? That's what it feels like. They're rushing in to say something, and then when they get there, they're like, I don't know, I'm just going to roll on out. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. So this could be a friend, someone you have a friendship with, someone you have some sort of an alliance with. Could be a partner, a business partner. This could be a current partner. Okay, thank you. We have the nameless on the bottom here, what you might know as death. The 13 card. Yeah, there's just a need to let go. Yeah, okay. Stuck in their heads. There's a need to let go of how awkward this feels. It's not going to go anywhere if we keep focusing on the awkwardness of it. Because all of our actions are going to be based on that feeling of being awkward. We're going to be so hyper focused on the awkward moments. It's like when someone stops talking and you ever be around those people that are like, everyone goes quiet all of a sudden just because that's what's going on in that moment. And instead of being present with that moment, someone goes awkward. That's what this feels like. It's like there's a silent moment and everybody's saying awkward when it's just a moment. Like there's nothing awkward about it. And it only becomes awkward when someone's hyper focused on it. And that's what this feels like. And so there's a lack of stability here. And there's a need to surrender to this hyper focus on the awkwardness and just be. Yeah, there's a lot of anxiety and fear that's deriving from this. Oh my gosh, there's so many wands in here. Okay, so this is very clear now. This is someone that you may have done the hanky-panky with, okay? This is someone who you could have had a physical relationship with, and then things got awkward. And now, both of you are like, what do I say? What do I say? It's awkward. We made it awkward. We had to go there. We just had to go down that road. And you know, hey, it's cool. It happens every day. But why does it have to be awkward? That's a question here. Why does it have to be awkward? What about it makes you feel like it's awkward? Because now you've seen this person naked, or because this person has kind of been up in your business, or what? And I feel like they're in the same boat, and you're feeding off of each other here. But to start the reading with the Six of Wands in the upright, it's showing like there's luck here if you both get out of your head and take action based on how you really feel. You have to move forward. You have to move forward. You have to choose what's right to move forward. Is this somebody that you want a connection with? And I feel like until someone makes a move, and you could be the person that makes the move here, pile 2. Yeah, you could be. You could very well be the one that takes that step. And it's going to help. Yeah, like giving up the superfluous and keeping only the essential. Let go of what doesn't matter anymore. Let go of what does not matter. The awkwardness doesn't matter. If you're holding on to the awkwardness, it can keep you from something that potentially feels like it could be something down the line. I feel like it was an in-the-moment thing. That's what I just heard right now. It was an in-the-moment thing. And then all of a sudden, you both maybe realize, wow, we really have some deep feelings for each other. And now it's awkward. And now everybody's keeping their distance. And wondering, like, what does the other one think? Where's the other one's head at? So there's this huge roadblock on your journey. And it feels like you're needing to change the direction. You're going to have to follow your urge here. You're going to have to follow your passion where your passion's leading you. And I do feel like it is leading you towards them, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here on this pile wondering what the hey. What am I supposed to do here? But that's what it feels like. Alright, let's get some more clarity. Yeah, look, Mars came out again. Move forward and defend self. Like, this could be even going as far as asking, why do we feel awkward here? I mean, there could be a reason to defend yourself from this person, but I don't feel like there is. Like, I really feel like there's just this energy of if no one moves forward, it's gonna fizzle out. It's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be weird. And then later on down the line, you're both gonna look back and be like, why didn't one of us just take action? Why were we so worried about the awkwardness, the weirdness of it? Sit with the weirdness. Shoot. That's life. Yeah, this is egos at play here with House 1. Individuality, self-image, and approach to life. This is our, and it's interesting because I have another deck and I'll be using it today, but the first house talks about get your ego in check. Like, check your identity too. Like, if you're so stuck with having to appear like you're on top. It's so funny. I was watching a show earlier and I think it was Survival of the Thickest. Is it the thickest? Yeah, Survival of the Thickest. And the one lady in there, she ends up meeting Daphne. I think she's a congresswoman. And she's the lawyer. And I can't remember her name. Marley? Is her name Marley? I think it's Marley. And she's a lawyer. And she's very masculine. And she likes to do masculine things for her counterparts. And the governess that she meets is the same way. And so at first she's like, I don't play these cat and mouse games. And then eventually she had to eat her pride and say, I guess I'm the mouse. And that was really hard for her, but she was still trying to one up Daphne because she really liked her. She's still trying to one up her. And that's what this feels like. It's like one of you or both of you are trying to play this game of I'm the one that's in control. And right now, if you want things to move forward, somebody's going to have to relent. And relenting does not mean that you're giving up power. It means that you're being vulnerable enough to say, hey, we really like each other. We really want this to work. So let's make it work. It doesn't mean that you can't be, yourself. Be yourself. But there's just the ego is at play here. The awkwardness comes from the ego. It's like, I have to be in control. And we do have that with the Mars energy. I'm glad we're getting clarity because it was so confusing at the beginning. It's like, why do I feel so awkward? Why do I feel like I can't say what I need to say? Or I have to come up with something that's so extra witty that pile 2 can't retort that. Or they can't, have a comeback for that. And you feeling the same way. I have to come up with something that's so witty that they can't have a comeback. Shoot, if that's y'all's banter, I mean, okay, one-upping each other, the darkness. Are you hanging around with the wrong cloud? Be the love and light that you are. Yeah, this really feels like stop playing the game. Love is not a game, and it should never be treated like a game, but unfortunately, we've stepped into that era in our lives where everybody's treating it like it's some kind of game. Like it's a cat and a mouse. What is that old game from way back in the day? I don't know, from when I was a kid. What is it called? Mousetrap, I think is what it's called. But it's where you have this huge board set up and the little mice are running around and there's little cages that drop on the mice and the cat is going to eat the mice if it drops on the mouse. And you wanted to get your mouse away. I think it's Mousetrap. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the game. But that's like the cat and the mouse. That's what it made me think of too. But it's like that. It's like nobody wants to get caged in. But in not getting caged in, you could potentially miss out on a very real connection. Holy crap! Do you see? Hold on. Whoa! Oh my gosh. Okay, let me see if I can fix this. Oh, that's the brightness. My bad. Hold on. Are you not going to zoom in? Wow. Okay, so that's definitely synchronistic. In and out, 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 in and out. Like you gotta let go. Somebody's gotta give somewhere. Work smart, not hard. You don't need to follow other people's rules. Exactly. Let me turn down the brightness just a little bit here. Oh, nope, that's not. Now it's not going to let me adjust the brightness. Okay, well, whatever. Whatever. Be the light in the dark. Yeah, choose to follow your own rules. Don't play the game with this person. Like, if you're the one that has to say something, bite the bullet and say something. And it's worth it. Right? Like, it's worth saying something here. What else would you like pile number 2 to know, Source? What is the future of this connection? Okay. What is the future of this connection, Source? See, the energy right now has to shift. It has to shift in order for something to happen. Because right now where it's at, it just doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. And that's why it's hard to predict the future. It's not that massive events can't be predicted, but to predict the future, things have to stay exactly the same as they are. But if you choose to change, then your future changes. And that's what Source is trying to remind you of here. Yeah, cleanse. Okay, right? You have to cleanse your energy and choose what's going to purify you to come in the best light for yourself, right? Like, this feels like you're absorbing somebody else's energy and choosing to play it the way that they would play it. And that's, don't play the game. Don't play the game. I mean, I do feel like there's potential here for sure. For a lot of you, there's potential here. But no. Oh my gosh, it came out in the reading. The first house on the bottom of both the astrology decks. Identity check. Check yourself. That's what this feels like. Check yourself. Stop. You know, what is it? Don't wreck yourself. No, that's real. It's like this energy of, okay, am I just following my ego? Do I just want to one-up this person? You can't build a connection based on one-upping people. Like, that's not going to work, right? Because it's always going to be one person has to outdo the other, and that's going to create conflict, and it's going to create all this stuff, and it takes one person relenting for that dynamic to fizzle out. It doesn't mean you can't still tease each other about it or whatever. Of course, that's part of life, right? But you can't just live in this dynamic. Look at this. We got the death card from here. The relationship is over. No second chances. Grow and transform. That's what's standing out here. Grow and transform. Is it just me, or is this like... Yeah, it was totally glitching out. I wonder if it caught that on camera. Whoa, this is so crazy here. Alright, let's get some more here, Source. What else? Grow and transform. Somebody's going to have to change this. Yeah, self-indulgence. Flipping over self-worth and value. Time to heal. Shadow work and self-appreciation. How much do you value yourself? And shadow work, and this is a part of the shadow too, like wanting to always be in this place of I'm right, you're wrong, this, that, and the other, like, oh, I'm doing better than you, I one up you. That's being in the shadow. That's the ego. There's a lot of ego in this energy that's coming through, and that's why it's like almost consistently thinking about, instead of texting right away, like, oh, hey, how's your day? It's like spending an hour or so really trying to devise the perfect statement. I just feel like enemies to lovers type energy for sure. Phoenix, new phase and rekindle. Renew and growth. Changed mind, rise from the ashes. Right? Grow. New growth, right? Like this has to switch up. You can't just stay in this energy of like, oh, I want it to be this, and so we're going to keep being like this. Like somebody's going to have to relent. And if you're too much in your pride, then things are going to keep staying the same. Attraction. Yep. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And what was I saying earlier? Like when everybody goes quiet, you have a group of people, you're all laughing, you're talking, it's fun, it's this, that, and the other, and then the whole group goes quiet. right? That's being in the moment. That's not awkward. So you choosing to change the dynamic is not awkward. It's being in the moment and what matters more. No guts, no glory. Be brave and go do what you want to do. Right. This is not a game to be played, so change the dynamic. Complete this. This is bringing it to an end. Intelligence. Like, you got 10 and 11 from 2 different decks. These are 2 different decks, by the way. You are intelligent. Use your intelligence to solve problems and get the life you want. Look at how they're like opposite colors. The red on the bottom and the black on the top, and the red on the top and the black on the bottom here. Really, really interesting energy. It's like coming out of the darkness and rooting yourself into this physical plane. If you want something to belong, you have to become the embodiment of how that belongs. And that seems strange, but it's like whatever we want to manifest, we have to become the person of that manifestation in order to manifest it. That's what they're saying here. Yeah, pain. Okay, the reason there's a lot of games here is because there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of hurt from the past. Okay? So reflection, you're mirroring each other here. This back and forth energy, it's a mirror to one another. One person ends it, the dynamic fades. It goes away. Do it with passion. Yeah, there's a lot of passion here with fire energy. Oh my goodness. A lot of passion. 6th house. Get real with responsibilities. What are you going to be responsible about? Right? Stop playing the game. I keep hearing that over and over again. Look, this came out in pile 1 too. Sword and Rose, clarity and truth, revelations, honor and protection, and determination. I just feel like the reason this came out is because it's clarity and truth on the situation. Trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Trust that everything's going to work out. Free yourself. Wow. It's time to take back control of your life. Exactly. Stop being stuck in this merry-go-round. Whoa. And I get it. It's all fun and games, but eventually it gets old, right? It says, hey, you'll get through this okay, right? Everything will be all right. So let's take a look at this card. We're going to read this from the book. Friendship. I can't with you right now. Slurs, I can't with you. Didn't I say that this felt like friends who all of a sudden went and slept with each other? That's what this feels like. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. All right, let's find friendship in here. This is very telling. Oh my goodness. This is next level. Let me see if I can get that there. It says all humans are created from the same source, but there are some souls that share unique kinship. Friendship can be the most exciting and beautiful experience on earth, but it can also be frustrating and heartbreaking. Understand that everyone in your path is here to teach you something. It may be for a year or a lifetime. Together you will teach each other various lessons of the heart, such as trust, which we got trust, love, loyalty, and admiration. The bonds of friendship are often stronger than those of family. You have formed a bridge of understanding between the two of you that has stood the test of time and of lifetimes. A true friend will illuminate your path instead of dim it. He or she will give advice with your best interests at heart. To be able to communicate at a soul level with another human being is the biggest treasure of the physical dimension. Oh my goodness. Yes. So again, coming back to this, could very well be a friendship here at play. And that's what with the friendship card, it's like very clear what this has been. But that dynamic, it's got to switch to something else, because if it stays in the dynamic that it's at right now, it's just going to feel like a cage. Like, you're both going to feel like, oh my gosh, like now that we've gone to this next level, I have to keep impressing them. I have to keep improving myself rather than just being who you were, which is what you were all along before hanky panky, right? So Choose to change the dynamic, and then things have a very clear potential, okay? Wow, that was a very intense reading. So this is what I see here for you. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the little hand heart emoji that's like this down below and say, I choose to come back to a grounded, centered state of mind so that I can show up with authenticity in all of my connections. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. With that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very deep message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful seashell, if you were drawn to this dice with the 9th house on it, if you were drawn to this sticker that says, I don't really know how to fix anything, but I can take small steps forward until I am in a better place. Or if you're drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on what is the future of this connection. And this can be with anybody, really. I did have it for the ex, crush, or current partner, but it can be for anybody, so keeping that open. But I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for anybody new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And before we get started, if you've never spent a reading with me, we do things a little bit differently around here, so I suggest you buckle in and hang on for the ride, and we'll find out together. So let's go ahead and hop to it. So Source, what is the future of this connection with pile number 3? What is the future of this connection? What would you like them to know today, Source? What is the future of this connection? Okay, so we've got the 6th house, Leo energy, and Neptune. I'm going to say this feels like a crush, because the thing is this feels like it's not someone who's in your life currently, but they could very well be. It could have been a crush that's turned into a current partner as well. This could be someone that you work with. This could be someone you see on a day-to-day basis, maybe at the coffee shop, I just heard, or at the bagel shop. Okay, getting breakfast. So we're going to get in with the dice. We're going to tap into the energy of this connection first, okay? So there's definitely a routine here. Things are falling into place in a certain way. And it does feel like there's a lot of joy and happiness between the two of you, but there's also a lot of unknowns. The hidden aspect of it. This could be something where you go and see them at like the gym. This could be where you see them. It just feels like a routine. It feels like you're doing this either day to day or a couple of times a week or something along those lines. Like you see them quite frequently. Yes. And this really feels like there's this energy of excitement when you both see each other, but there's also like not knowing exactly how to interact with each other, unsure of where you're at. Which makes sense being here, but especially with Neptune showing up, there's still a lot of illusions at play right now. There's a lot of not knowing what's next, and a lot of vulnerability that is wanting to come through, but I do feel like there's a resistance to it. Interesting. I'm getting this feeling that there's maybe an addiction here, or guilt, or some sort of deceit that's coming through. Someone in their pride as well. You might have resonated with one of the other piles. And as always, if you spend all 3 piles with me, that's the Purple Heart Club. Just leave a purple heart down below and say I made it. I know what that means. So and I truly do appreciate you. And I appreciate you spending any amount of time with me. This just really feels like someone wants to date, but there's also another energy here where it's like this person almost feels entitled to you. Or entitled to being liked. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. It's entitled to being liked. Like having people fawn over them, or having people always up in their business. People always wanting to be a part of them. I don't know. This is not... I don't know. Let's get into the tarot, because this is a weird energy. I don't know if I like this energy. But it could just be someone is just trying to play a part to appear a certain way. Source, what is the future of this connection? I feel like there's a lot of attraction, like attractiveness and a lot of attraction between the both of you. But it also feels like someone is just like, oh, well, of course they're attracted to me because everybody is. What is the future of this connection? I don't know, Source. Tell me what the future of this connection is. The energy is exhausting. That's what it feels like right now. It's very exhausting. That could be the illusion. Maybe they're just trying to play a part so that they don't... okay. Yeah. This just flipped out in such a weird way. It was like this, and then it started to turn, and it went, and it flipped over in the upright like that. So, yeah, when I was going to say what I was going to say, before we look at the bottom of the deck. So, the thing is here is that this person is trying to appear like they're egotistical. I don't think that they really are. This really feels like a play. Like someone's trying to appear a certain way. But that's not who they are. I feel like this is someone who's a romantic and who is big-hearted and kind-hearted and is... That's why I didn't like this energy, because it's not authentic. It's not authentic to them. They're trying to appear like a BA here, and they're really not. It's not like they're not, but they're not. You know what I mean? Like they're not that bad. They're just not. And they're trying to appear that way, and they're kind of stepping on toes in the process here. It's on the bottom. Right. Yeah, the 7 of Swords. Yeah, this is something they're going to eventually overcome. Alright, let me see what the whole reading is, because I need to get a whole picture here. Yep, there we go. That makes sense. We've got family involved here. This is why. Okay, so this person is trying to appear like someone else, or like they deserve someone other than you, pile 3. You might be like, well, that's a jerk move. It's not them. They're trying to please family members in their life, when the reality is they actually have really deep feelings for you. They really do want to connect with you. They really want to go out with you, but someone's playing in the back, on the back end here. It's like someone's whispering in their ear. It's like someone's creating a lot of tension between you and them, and so they're trying to act like, oh, that's right, I deserve someone better. And you could be like, well, if they really loved me, why would they do that? Whoever has the control in their life has had control in their life for a very long time. And this is like interference in their environment, right? And it's pressures from the family. Whether that's their friends that they see as family, or whether that's somebody that's been in their life a whole time. Like this is someone who at one point, they really wanted this person's opinion on everything because their opinion mattered to them. And now they're starting to see that this person might not have their best interests in mind. And right now, if this person continues to listen to whoever's talking in their ear, there is no future to this relationship because it ends there if they keep believing what this person is saying. I do feel like Source is playing a hand in here, especially with the Seven of Swords coming out on the bottom of the deck. I do feel like there's going to be something that happens, or this person can't handle it anymore. That's the deception. I was feeling that. I was like, there's some sort of deceit here. There's some sort of like something that's coming out that's not, it's just not clear. And I feel like this person's lost, you could be in a no contact situation with this person, even still seeing them every day. Right? Like, how awkward is that? Like, I see you every day and we look at each other, but we say nothing because what are we going to say? Or maybe it could be you see each other every day on social media and you can't say anything. That could be anything like that. But I feel like this person has had a lot of people in their ear. And they're slowly coming around to healing themselves here. And they're realizing that if they want to move forward, they're going to have to bury something here in the past. But whoever this is, it could be, like, I'm getting this example like it's a mother with a son, okay? And the mother sees you, pile 3, and the mother says that, oh, you're not good enough for my son. You're never going to be good enough for my son. Well, the truth is, pile 3, that's nothing personal against you. No one is good enough for her son because she's trying to be the main woman in her son's life, okay? That's the example that Source is giving me right now. Well, of course, as a child, and especially if she's a single mother, right? You've got mama's boy syndrome. And I feel like that's what's at play here, is that type of energy where it's like, this is someone who trusts this person because maybe they sacrificed a lot for them, or maybe they gave them a lot while they were growing up, or they made sure they had a good life. And it's like, I trust what you're saying to me, but there's also this conflict, and it's a very internal conflict that they're going through. And there's a lot of doubt that's coming up now, and I feel like this person that you're inquiring about is they're seeing this, right? And if this is someone that you're with, this could be someone that's been on the back end trying to have a play in your relationship this entire time. And they're slowly coming around to realizing that this is not going to work for the relationship. And there is some healing here. There is some healing. But somebody's ego is getting crushed in the process, and I don't really feel like it's you. I don't actually feel like it's this person that you're inquiring about either. I feel like it's whoever the third party is. Their ego's going to get crushed. Mutable. Yeah, surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces. Yeah, so there's a lot of change that's going to come here through them surrendering. I feel like there's just such a deep connection between you and this person that they are not willing to give that up. Look at this. We've got the Divine coming in here from this deck. The Divine is sending you love and support. Better days are coming. So the Divine is playing a hand in here, right? Especially with the Chariot here at the center of the reading. Like, this is, we could say it's divine interference, but this is spiritual growth. So there's something here that's triggered spiritual growth within this connection, and they're seeing this energy for what it is, and they're realizing they want to move away from it. Okay, so we have the Divine, and then under that, oh my gosh, look at this. We have sorry. Is there someone you need to apologize to? I feel like you're going to get an apology from this person. We have 4 and 8 coming out, right? So 12, perspective. Their perspective regarding you and a connection with you is shifting. And I feel like you might receive an apology from this person. They're realizing how they've treated you. They're realizing what they've done. They're realizing how they're also looking in your eyes right now. They're realizing that. And they're seeing that, oh my gosh, like, I really did pile number 3 wrong. That's why I said I didn't like this energy. But it was confusing me because it's like, I feel all this love here, but what is this energy that's coming in? It's third party. There's a third party person here that has been pulling strings in the person's life that you're inquiring about. Look, pure water. Yeah, you could have definitely resonated with one of the other readings, but we have drink filtered rainwater or spring water from a good source if possible. This feels like just purifying of the soul. This feels like source is purifying you both in this beautiful energy of reconnecting with what feels right for you. This is a different deck, but it looks very similar to the one I just used. It's made by the same person, Sue Hilder, I think that's what it's called. What's her name? Yeah, Sue Hilder. Okay, this is the Gold Ink Oracle. Money. 48. Manifest what you want by manipulating your energy with your mind. Look at this person in the background. Do you see this dynamic here? Like this person's looking up at them and they're all in this extravagance and they're kind of like wearing nothing, right? They don't really have a whole lot on them. So again, mother energy and then a child energy. This could be a child that feels like they have to give back to their parent or to someone who cared for them, and they have to buy them expensive things. You see this car right here? I don't know what that is. Is that a... looks like a Mitsubishi, honestly. I don't know. Anyways, it's a high-end value car, I guess. And so, I know Mitsubishi's not, but it's like all these high-end value things. But do you see there's like this energy of they're missing out, though. It's not about the material, and they're realizing that, and Source is showing them that. This is someone who's been dealing with another person who's very materialistic, and they're realizing a lot of different things here. Jupiter flying out here. Go big or go home. And the 7th house, make a commitment. Oh my gosh, they do. It's like, I feel like this person's coming in for an apology for you, pile 3. There's been a lot of confusion here. There's been a lot of misunderstandings. Thought things were going good, but then all of a sudden there's no contact. Like, what the hey is happening here? And this person is realizing how they showed up. And I do feel like they're coming in with an apology. And they do want to take things to the next level. So there is a lot of good energy here. But they have to let go of this third party energy. They can't expect this person to be a healthy influence between the two of you. They're going to have to set some solid boundaries. Or maybe maybe your partner had to set solid boundaries, right? This could be your partner that you have currently. It doesn't have to be. It just depends on where you're at on your journey. 11th house, build your community. They're realizing that if they want the life that they want, they're going to have to make some shifts. And you feel like you belong in their tribe, right? So they realize that you guys vibe together like no one vibes with them. And they like that, and they don't want to lose that. But they know that if they stay in that egoic energy because of this third-party energy in their ear, right? Like, oh, haha, I deserve that. Yeah, cleansing. Look, didn't I say that with the water? There's a lot of cleansing here. And this is at a spiritual level. Okay, this is at a much higher level. This is not something that, like, even they're necessarily aware of. This is going on a higher level, like 5D. On the bottom, growth, yes. Yes, this is like when divine timing comes into play, there's a lot of growth between you and this person. Well, really, it's this person, and I feel like this person is seeing the reality of the people that they've surrounded themselves with, and they're recognizing that this is not my soul tribe. But they feel like you are pile 3, and they want to connect with you because they like the peace that you bring into their lives, and they're tired of living in this drama. Yeah, that's what this really feels like. Interesting. See, and isn't it interesting? Because now I'm getting drawn to your sticker. I don't really know how to fix anything, but I can take small steps forward until I'm in a better place. And that's what they've been doing, is small steps. And they're getting led to this apology to you, okay? Phoenix, look at this. New phase and rekindle, renew and growth, changed mind and rise from the ashes. And if you watched one of the other piles, because this came out in another pile, if you watch that pile, I'm going to reiterate this statement. Energy is always shifting. And so we're not going to be the same person we were yesterday. And tomorrow will be an entirely different person as well. So regardless of, I mentioned it's difficult to predict the future because anybody can make a choice today that will alter the course of the future for forever tomorrow. So that's why it's so imperative that whatever energy a tarot reader is giving you today, that doesn't mean it's going to be the same thing tomorrow. Okay, and that's where it's okay to hold on to that idea, but if we're identifying with that idea, we've gone in too deep, okay? So we have new love coming out here. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings, okay? So I do feel like they're going to come in and offer you a new love. I don't feel like you've been in a relationship with this person before. So if you're with them now, they were still a new love, but it was someone that you might have had a crush on, someone you were interested in. Unrequited love coming in. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. This is something that you thought it was. Yeah, that's okay. Interesting. What's on the bottom? Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. This is that confirmation of what I said. There's not enough traction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. This is something that someone in their family was trying to convince them of with you. But this person can't help that they're attracted to you. They are attracted to you. Deeply. Yeah, Yang. They're going to have to take action. We have Aries, Leo, Sag, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius with proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. They're going to have to come forward and say something. Intimate relationships. Friendship is the foundation of any good relationship. Look, they really are. We've got make a commitment, 7th house, go big or go home. Intimate relationships coming out. Yeah, they are really attracted to you. And I feel like they're finally realizing it's okay for me to be attracted to whom I'm attracted to. And there's nothing, I don't want that to sound like there's something wrong with you, because there's not anything wrong with you, pile 3. You have a beautiful energy. You're a beautiful person. The thing is that there are people out there who believe that they know exactly what their kids need or know exactly what their people need. And the only thing, look, I can't make this up. The only thing that this third party was interested in was money. But also look at what's underneath that, success. Right? That's the only thing that this person would have considered a good match for this, who you're inquiring about. That's the only thing that this person, this third party person, would have considered. Definitely feels third party here. Yeah, coffin. Look, new beginnings, liberation, reborn and transitions, and tragic endings. So there is going to be an ending here that this person has to go through in order to offer a new beginning with you. Camera. This is why they're reminiscing about the memories that you've had, learning from the past, and their perception. Didn't I say that? How they're perceiving you? I'm pretty sure I said that. I think I did. I don't know. It's been a long day. Not today. Yeah. Boundaries and hurt. Avoiding conversation. Not dealing and still upset. So they're not coming forward today. It might be a little while before things shift, but it does look like they will be giving you an apology sometime in the future, okay? And I'm not here to tell you when exactly that is, because first of all, this is a general reading. That's unfair when it's going to be different for everyone else. And also the other reason is because when we're holding on to a time, we get so caught up in that it has to come in July. It has to come in July. And if it doesn't come in July, then, oh my gosh, you know, and then all these thoughts start coming up and all these feelings start coming up because you're so attached to this. It has to be this time frame. It will come when source helps it to come and when this person answers the call. Not a day sooner, not a day later, not a moment sooner, and not a moment later. And trusting that that's a process, but I do feel like this person is definitely going to give you an apology. Let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. We've got service. I feel good when I can help others. So this person could be in service. You could be of service as well. Didn't we say, like, this is something that maybe you met each other at the coffee shop or something like that? Interesting. It says, one of the most evolved gifts that a soul possesses is giving of itself. There is a reason why it feels so good to give. It is because your soul resonates with that vibration. Your soul should be aware that it might currently be in a situation which it needs to be fulfilled on higher levels. And this can only happen through the attribute of humbly serving and supporting others. Put yourself in a position in which you benefit another soul in any way possible and demonstrate unconditional love towards others. This might mean bringing yourself into your heart space and letting everything you involve yourself in... Whoa, my frequencies just started glitching. In any way possible and demonstrate unconditional love towards others. This might mean bringing yourself into your heart space and letting everything you involve yourself in come from an attitude of giving freely. You have to learn to direct your green heart light energy through all your thoughts, actions, and deeds. Look around and see where and how you can serve another. Perhaps one way would be asking a friend if you can help clean up his or her office or run errands. Maybe volunteer to watch your neighbor's kids so the parents can have a night out. Make a meal for someone who might be sick. Volunteer in a hospital or hospice. Perform an activity that enriches someone else's life. And the apology is also coming through here as well. So I feel like they're going to realize that if I stop being in this place of being so connected to the material and I start doing what I've always wanted to do, which is help others, they're going to realize just how much they messed up when it came to you, and they're going to come through with that apology. And so there is potential for a future here, but this person has to make that choice. I cannot force that choice onto this person. Source cannot even force that choice onto this person. But what Source has been doing, and what Source will always continue to do, is send little nudges. And when they finally awaken to the call, they will take action. That is something that is promised, but it is and will always remain to be their choice. No one can force another person to do something that they are unwilling to do. And that is something that we have to remember as we go into these types of readings, is that even Source isn't going to force somebody to do something, but Force can send things our way to help awaken us, to help redirect us, and to help get us back to our highest path of purpose. But as a human with the promise of free will, no matter what our label is in this world, we can still choose to ignore those lessons. We can still choose to ignore those directions and that energy of love. And so we have to hold space for everyone and send those prayers of positivity to them and remind ourselves that we want them to find the best for themselves, not just for us, right? We really want them to come in their highest aligned self so that we can grow together, not so one of us is dragging the other along. And I feel like that's something that's so important for you to remember here, pile 3. But this person, when they figure out what's going on, Source is absolutely playing a hand here in helping you receive this apology from this person. And ultimately, whether or not you get together with this person, it will be your choice. There is no right or wrong. There is only what's right or wrong for you. Okay? So this is what I see here for you today. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little heart with the bandage wrapped around it down below and say, I understand that while I live in a state of brokenheartedness or disconnect, that as long as I'm loving myself and giving my love freely, knowing that Source is working through me in those ways, all things will work out in my highest good. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me for you to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box in order to do so, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. With that being said, I do want to take a quick second and thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.